it's Ruby, and today I'm going to be showing you a day in the life of a bookworm. I am a big fan of reading. I'm an English literature student, so whilst brushing my teeth I always read. At the moment, for pleasure, I am reading Murakami's Norwegian Wood, which I am loving. I've never actually read Murakami before, and I'm really regretting that now that I'm actually reading this. So for breakfast, I decided to make some porridge. And yes, in Oliver Twist, he does eat gruel, but I'm kind of making this in the tradition of Oliver Twist. Or maybe The Secret Garden, because Mary Lennox also is given porridge and she really does not like it. I don't make gruel though. I have it with coconut milk, mashed banana, and cinnamon. By the way, can we just appreciate my pyjamas for a second? They really remind me of Mallory Towers. Like, whenever I wear these pyjamas, I feel like it's something you would wear at Mallory Towers.
Please, sir, may I have some more?
I also like to add some milk on top, but I mix the milk with this like peanut butter powder, protein powder, and it just makes the porridge taste so good. And I will also add some coconut flakes and some coconut yogurt. And over breakfast, I always read. Again, here I am reading the Murakami book. Oh, and the tea I'm having this day is green tea in my Shakespeare mug. So today I am wearing this green dress from Niche Linen, which is a Ukrainian brand on Etsy. She makes these to order, and whenever I wear this dress, I feel like a literary character for some reason. It kind of half reminds me of Jane Eyre and half reminds me of Anne of Green Gables. Then I just sat and read for pleasure for a little bit, just to kind of wake myself up. And then it was time for my morning walk. It's so cold at the moment, so obviously I'm having to bundle up. I am putting on my ski socks and also a fleece. The last time I shared a video of me going on a walk, someone commented that it reminded them of the scene in The Secret Garden where Mary Lennox is getting completely bundled up in like coats and scarves and hats, ready for her freezing cold walk in the ground. And ever since that comment, every time I'm getting ready, I always think of that moment. On my morning walk, I should say that I also was reading. I like to bring a little pocketbook, and the Little Penguin Black Classics are perfect for this. So this day I brought along this collection of Christina Rossetti's poems, and it's just really nice to read poetry on walks. It's one of my favourite things.
Be the green grass above me, with showers and dewdrops wet, and if thou wilt remember, if thou wilt forget.
I love my morning walks so much. It's such a wonderful time to switch off and just be meditative and appreciate the world around me. Anne of Green Gables quotes actually always come to mind when I'm on these walks, and so I thought I would share a few of my favourites with you. It was November. The month of crimson sunsets, parting birds, deep sad hymns of the sea, passionate wind songs in the pines. Anne roamed through the pineland alleys in the park, and, as she said, let that great sweeping wind blow the fogs out of her soul. Look at that seagulls, all silver and shadow and vision of things not seen. We couldn't enjoy its loveliness anymore if we had millions of dollars and ropes of diamonds. Listen to the trees talking in their sleep, she whispered, as he lifted her to the ground. What nice dreams they must have. Isn't it splendid to think of all the things that there are to find out about? It just makes me feel glad to be alive. It's such an interesting world. It wouldn't be half so interesting if we knew all about everything, would it? It's delightful when your imaginations come true, isn't it? Don't you feel as if you just loved the world on a morning like this? So when I got back, I washed my hands and got myself some water because I'm always really thirsty after these walks. And I was actually already feeling hungry even though I'd pretty much just had breakfast, so I made a banana, chocolate and peanut butter smoothie.
There was something about you that day. I can still hear the shimmering sound. The hill is near.
And then I got started on doing some writing. I love to write in the mornings after my walk. I usually just write for about an hour.
I know my life will never be the same after that day.
And then it was time to study. So as I said, I study English literature, and this morning I was working on some work for my Victorian literature module. So I started off by reading this essay on tea, which my seminar leader had recommended to me, and then I did some research into the history of tea in Victorian Britain. I also looked for poems that were published between 1830 and 1860 about tea, and finally I analysed the illustrations from Alice in Wonderland, which is the text that we had studied that week for the Victorian module. Then I went downstairs to make some lunch. This was a very simple lunch. I just made my mum and I some spinach pasta and peas. And then after lunch, I started Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens, which is the book we are reading this week for the Victorian module, and this is a mammoth of a book. It is very long, but Charles Dickens is one of my favourite writers, and I'm enjoying it so far, even though it is very long and I have not finished it yet. I just curled up in my armchair with a blanket to read this, and it was so lovely. After reading for a little bit, I decided to go do some baking. I wanted to make some literary inspired treats, so the first thing I made were some cookies. This is shortbread. I basically just eyeballed it. I usually don't follow measurements when I'm baking, but I will leave a recipe down below if you do want to follow one. I was trying out this new cookie cutter which I got from Etsy. It basically makes cookies that say "eat me" on them, and obviously this is inspired by Alice in Wonderland. And I also made a Bruce Bogtrotter chocolate cake.
An honest question though, are you even baking if you don't try some of the batter? Oh my gosh, it's like all gooey.
This is just a really simple vegan chocolate cake. I followed a recipe from Mina Roma, and I will leave that link down below. Then I went upstairs and wrote a letter to my friend Umi, and I just designed it so it looked like a little book. So I folded a piece of letter writing paper in half, and I used my charcoals to just colour in the front so it looked like a book cover. And then so I could post it, Mum and I went on a walk to the post box. This is something I've got into the habit of doing every evening with Mum, and it's really nice to just chat and also, again, just appreciate how beautiful the world is. When I got back, it was time to crack on some more with our mutual friend. I actually ended up downloading the book on Kindle and reading it on my laptop, which is not as romantic as reading the beautiful old edition that I have of it, but I wanted to take notes as I was going along, and Kindle is a really convenient platform for doing that. So I sat by the fire and I was also listening to the soundtrack for The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe at the same time. Then my parents and I decided to have some afternoon tea. We enjoyed this rose tea from Whittards, and we just served that with some of the Eat Me biscuits which I had made earlier. Afternoon tea is just a really special thing to have, I think. If we have it, we'll have it between 3 and 4. It's something I try to do every day. I probably only end up doing it maybe 4 days a week, but the days that I do have afternoon tea, I really enjoy the slowness of it. It's really good fun. Then I did a quick ballet fit class and I changed into this outfit, which is kind of supposed to be inspired by ballet shoes. Oh, and then as I was filming, my camera fell off and I was so convinced it had broken. That happened in slow motion. That was so scary. Oh my gosh. In the evening, I called my university friends Blakeney and Sasha, and it was so nice to just catch up. We always end up talking about books on these calls, to be honest, because all three of us are massive bookworms, and when we're in Exeter, we will literally go to Waterstones for like 5 hours every Saturday, which is one of the things I'm missing most about being at university. And Blakeney had been selling Storygraph to me whilst we were on the call. Both of us are long-term Goodreads users, and I could never imagine moving away from Goodreads. However, Blakeney had been trialling Storygraph and she said it was amazing, so I transferred all of my data over from Goodreads to Storygraph, and I spent the evening messing around with it a little bit and seeing if I liked it. I'm actually so impressed with it as a platform, and I am planning on slowly transitioning over from Goodreads. I also read some more of our mutual friend. Today I managed to get up to chapter 6, which is not very far, but considering I was taking notes, I feel like that is okay. In the evening, my mum and I watched some television together, and we also got pizzas. I tried the vegan Domino's Veggie Supreme pizza, but I personally was not a fan. I don't usually like vegan cheese. Didn't like this one either, which was kind of a shame, but still, now I know I don't like it. So then I got into my nightdress. This nightdress really reminds me of Sophie from the BFG for some reason, especially when I pair it with my glasses. And then I got into bed to read some more of Norwegian Wood. I ended up actually reading this until like 1 in the morning, which I did not plan on doing, but I'm sure all of you understand the struggles of that, and when you get really immersed in a book and you just completely lose track of time. That definitely happened with me this evening, but I'm not complaining because I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a productive week.